Good Wednesday morning. It is November the 10th. I hope you're safe and well and blessed this morning and ready to be a witness for Jesus this morning, today, tonight, whenever you get the opportunity. I'm going to read to you this morning from the book of James. There's a whole section here that I could read, but I don't want to spend that much time this morning, trying to be respectful of your time. It's from James chapter 3, and I would normally read the 12 verses here, but I'm going to skip down to chapter 9, and you're going to get the gist of all this. With the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. You know, I've learned in my 25 years of preaching, churches can be cruel places. Church members can be some of the cruelest and meanest people around. They are some of the most skilled gossips, and their tongues are sharp. Surprise you? I hope it shocks you. Yeah, and the time has come, my friends, for it to stop. And I think Christian or not, the time for the sharp tongues and cutting people down, it's time to stop. If we as the church are going to accomplish the things God desires of us, then we have got to learn to tame the beast. Beast meaning tongue. And there are three truths about the tongue. One, it's small, but it is powerful. I mean, the biggest mistakes that we make are the ones that we make with our mouths. They are words that we say that we shouldn't, or they are words that we don't say when we should. 99% of the trouble that I find myself in the church especially, and in my life and in my family, is a result of this little instrument right there. It's the tongue. It's small, but it's powerful. And the other thing is you can't tame it. James says, consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue is also a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body, and it corrupts the whole person and sets the whole course of his life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. You remember the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me? Well, let me tell you something. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Broken bones heal quicker than wounds that are left by an out-of-control tongue. And we've all been there. And maybe some of you are there right now. And the third truth about the tongue is, I said it's small but powerful. It's also small but revealing. I mean, if we go to Matthew chapter 12, we read this. Make a tree good, and its fruit will be good. Make a tree bad, and its fruit will be bad. For a tree is recognized by its fruit. You brood of vipers, how can you who are evil say anything good? For out of the overflow of the heart the mouth speaks. The good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him, and the evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in him. But I tell you that men will have to give an account on the day of judgment for every careless word they have spoken. By your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. People know what's in you by the words that come out of your mouth. Luke says in chapter 6, he says, the good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, just like Matthew said, and the evil man brings the evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. You cannot claim to be Christian and cut others down. You cannot claim to be a Christian and use bad language. You are not fooling anyone, and it damages the church's witness. The tongue has a way of revealing who we really are. So how do we control it? Well, I think first we need to rethink this freedom of speech thing. You know, we live in a country that insists on free speech. It's our constitutional right. Nobody can tell us what we can and can't say. It's constitutional right, and it's our God-given right. Or is it? Do we have the right to speak at others' expense of others? Do we have the right to speak even when our words may hurt the person whom we are speaking to or about? Do we really have the right? The world says we do, but as a follower of Jesus Christ, I beg to differ. Jesus surrendered his speech for you and me. When he stood before Herod, he uttered not a word. And Christians everywhere need to rethink this First Amendment stuff, this freedom of speech stuff. We need to lead with our ears and not with our tongues. James says, be quick to listen and slow to speak. The problem isn't that we don't have enough, that we don't say enough. It's that we say too much. And Jesus says that one of these days we're going to give an account for every careless word that we speak. That right there ought to make us think twice about what we say. We just need to flat refuse to tear others down. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. That's pretty good advice. It's time to tame our tongues. If we are to be followers of Christ, then we need to behave like his followers, because someday we're going to be held accountable. So let's watch what we say. Let's build each other up. Let's love each other. In spite of our mistakes, in spite of the things that we do, the sins that we commit, we still need to love each other. I hope you will. And I hope that you can tame the beast called your tongue. I'm Pastor Mark. I love you guys. Be safe, be well, be blessed, be strong. Go do something for Jesus, and I'll see you tomorrow.